The sea, it remembers everything. Every ship it has swallowed, every secret it has hidden, every soul it has claimed. On a storm-lit night in the Pacific, one of marine world's brightest stars, Jessica Radcliffe, vanished beneath the waves. To the world, she was a gifted orca trainer. To the ocean, she was chosen. What began as a bond between woman and whale became a journey into the depths of a 100-year-old secret, one guarded by creatures as ancient as the tides themselves. This is not just a story about loss. It is a story about loyalty, prophecy, and the price of knowing the ocean's truth. And once you hear it, you'll never forget the call of the deep.
Today we share a moving story behind the tragic passing of orca trainer Jessica Radcliffe. Before we begin, let us pray that her good deeds are accepted and her soul rests in peace. The evening sky above the Pacific Ocean burned with hues of crimson and gold, as if hiding a great secret beneath its waves. Jessica Radcliffe, a 28-year-old orca trainer, stood at the edge of the performance pool at Marine World, a renowned marine conservation center, famous for showcasing the skills of trained killer whales. For nearly a decade, Jessica had dedicated her life to this place. But this evening was different. There was no cheerful music, no applause from the crowd, only the sound of water breaking the heavy silence. Her eyes fell on Kaylee, a massive 5-ton male orca she had raised and trained since he was a calf. "Yellen," she whispered, "this might be our last show." For weeks, Jessica had noticed a change in him. He seemed restless, often refusing commands, and gazing at her with an unusual intensity, as if trying to speak. When the show began, Jessica dove into the pool as usual. Kaylee followed the choreography, sliding beneath her, then leaping high into the air, sending a spray of water over the audience. The crowd cheered. But in the next moment, the mood shifted. Kaylee rushed toward her at an unexpected speed, pushing her toward the center of the pool. The water churned violently. From above, it looked almost like a dance, though it was unclear whether it was playful or a warning. A technician by the poolside hit the emergency alarm. The audience froze, unsure if this was part of the performance or a disaster unfolding. Beneath the surface, Jessica locked eyes with Kaylee. There was a strange silence there, a message only the depths could hold. Just as her breath was about to give out, Kaylee suddenly propelled her upward, tossing her into the air like a toy. She landed hard at the pool's edge, gasping for breath. The crowd applauded, thinking it was an act, but Jessica knew it was a warning. That night, she sketched a strange symbol she had seen in her mind during that underwater gaze. The next morning, arriving before anyone else, she approached the training pool. Kaylee surfaced, watching her intently. Without words, he swam to one side, pressed his head against the pool wall, then to another side, repeating the gesture, as if pointing to something hidden. When the pool was empty, Jessica put on diving gear and entered the water. At the indicated spot, she found a narrow crevice in the fiberglass wall. Reaching inside, she felt something cold, hard, and round, a rusted metal sphere engraved with the same symbol she had drawn. Back in her workshop, she studied the object. It was fist-sized, heavy, and cold despite the warm air. Inside, something rattled. That night, she pried it open. A sharp scent of seawater escaped, along with a tightly rolled piece of old parchment bound with thin twine. Unrolling it, she discovered a faded maritime map marked with a single vivid red dot far from any known shipping route. Next to it was writing in a language she did not fully understand, but one word stood out clearly: return. The next day, Jessica brought the map to the old pier where retired fisherman Old Sam often mended his nets. When Sam saw the map, his face went pale. "Where did you get this?" he asked. Jessica replied, "My orca, Ken, he showed it to me." Sam's voice lowered to a whisper. "That's not your orca. He's a guardian of something that must never be found." When she asked, "Guardian of what?" Sam stared out at the sea. "At that spot lies a shipwreck from a century ago, carrying something not meant for mankind. Many have sought it, none returned." That evening, Jessica returned to the pool. Holding the now empty sphere, she looked at Kaylee. "You want me to go there, don't you?" she murmured. Kaylee circled slowly, releasing a low sound that felt like agreement. Jessica knew it was dangerous, perhaps even madness, but something inside her was calling, the same voice she had felt in the depths. That night, standing on the pier, she saw twin orca fins appear briefly before disappearing into the dark waters. "If I don't come back," she whispered to herself, "at least I'll know the answer lies out there." The ocean replied only with the crash of waves against stone. In the days that followed, Jessica uncovered a manuscript from the wreckage. Ancient writings filled with strange symbols. It spoke of a hidden power beneath the sea, protected for centuries by orcas, the guardians of the ocean's balance. Kaylee was not just a marine animal, he was bound to this ancient force. The more she studied, the heavier the shadow that loomed over her. Then, on a stormy night, Jessica felt an irresistible pull back to the pool. Rain lashed, wind roared, and Kaylee's eyes held a grave warning. Her time to choose had come. With a final breath of courage, she entered the water. Kaylee led her into the deep, where another orca, larger and more imposing, waited. These were the true guardians of the sea. In one swift, majestic motion, Kaylee seized her by the head. Her body remained above the surface for a moment, before disappearing into the dark water. The ocean claimed her that night. Marine World lost one of its finest trainers, but the story of Jessica and Kaylee lived on, in the whispers of the wind and the sigh of the waves. Some say Jessica became part of the sea, a new guardian allied with the ancient power to protect the ocean's balance. And Kaylee still roams the depths, guarding a secret no human should ever uncover.